Imagine looking at your neighbor sitting next to you, so you can see it, and to see it green. Imagine looking at the window, at the sky, and to see it pink. That probably seems surreal for you, isn't it? Well, that's not for colorblind. And that's neither. I can't see any difference. In 2015, after so difficult years spent in school, I opted for the path of the patient, photography. For a whole year, I took pictures everywhere. In the mountain, in the streets, during traveling with my good friend Patrick Guller. He's there, hi mate. We went to Iceland to shoot its famous Northern Lights, and I also had the chance to be part of a trip in Africa to discover the wildlife. At the end of that year, I found myself with thousands of pictures without really knowing what to do with them. But first, I have to sort it out, which was probably the most difficult step. Then, the idea of a book seemed interesting for me, for its aspect. So I could say, in 2015, I did that. The book, Next World, was distributed by a large chain store, which allowed me at that time to really believe in it. And that was exactly what I was looking for. And that's not the fact that I didn't believe in myself, but to see people that didn't know me at all going to the shop and buying my book, it was a real special feeling. After maybe 1 month, I couldn't see that book anymore. I saw those pictures thousands of times, and my only wish was to go back on track and do even better. At that time, I was really looking for myself artistically. And the only way to find me was by solitude. Solitude, for me, forge and create emotions that are not found in any other cases. By ourselves, really thinks plenty. So I left on a solo trip in the artist circle in Norway, Lofoten. And behind each of these pictures, there's a story, a personal, a good one or a bad one, but there is something behind it. And these are the pictures that were used to build my very first exhibition in 2017. It was a big step forward for me. But the feedback was so much above my expectation that when the exhibition was behind me, I found it a complete dark hole. It was a big period of reflection. How could I do better next time? So I decided to talk to a very close friend of mine, and I asked him, how could I do better next time? And he told me, you do not torture yourself to do better, but simply different. And then it all started. Very young, I understood that I didn't perceive the same world as my little classmate. For example, I've never been able to draw a cartoon. That's not a hot dog, it's a lion. And until the day I asked my mother why this green-haired girl was being so nasty to everyone. She was blonde, in fact. I had to see a doctor a few days later, if it's not the same day, and he then explained me what it was like to be a colorblind. Colorblindness affects more than 300 million people worldwide, by different degrees. To make long story short, colorblindness eats 3 cones inside the eyes. One for the red, one for the green, and one for the blue, that are all deficient or absent for colorblindness, or both for some of them. And expect the problem that can be seen from it. He showed me the chance I had to see the world differently. And thanks to him for that, if you're watching me, doctor. Because when you think about it, colorblindness, it's a strong word. It means blindness from all colors. Say so, that's not the first quality a photographer would like to be gifted with. And I remember my very first website, all the pictures were in black and white, because I didn't want editing specific colors and be spotted as a colorblind. But it all changes. By now, my idea was to make people travel with me, but through my eyes, through the eyes of a colorblind. And the plan for that was to fold 2 pictures. This will allow to have one image from the right side that you can see from the right side, and the other one from the left side. as you can see here. It was a tough challenge to put this in place. And I worked so much on that idea because I knew that this project was so personal, and it was much more than a simple exhibition. I worked like 9 months to make that happen. And at the end, the very important is when I came for the not technical but practical things about the prototype. It showed mountain ranges with beautiful colors at sunset, but I saw that images that were too much detail didn't match with the experience I wanted to show. I wanted a smooth transition from one vision to another. So the work was very focused on extremely soft landscape. So for that, I left in Lofoten Island, Furious Iceland. Sorry guys from Furious. But unfortunately, I saw the sun maybe half an hour in 20 days. So it wasn't enough to build an exhibition with this. I came back home with a bit taste of disappointment, but I was really motivated to put everything into place. So I raised myself to the project, and I fly to Mongolia, a true masterpiece of a country. Amazing culture, amazing landscape. It's just unreal. When I came back with my shots, I knew that time it was the right one. And a few months later, I released my project, One Way to World, in Geneva. It was a real personal achievement because I remember being with my doctor, my ophthalmologist, Dr. Munier. He was here with me in the gallery, and we were both of us in front of those pieces. He saw me 20 years earlier for a green-haired girl. I worked with him with this project, and we were here for the final. It was a beautiful feeling. But the big success of this exhibition for me, it attracts many different worlds. The scientific world, artistic world, and also random people that are not always attracted by art. Not always. But they came for the interest of the process. And that's a really big success for me. Art is open to everyone. And there's a few questions that came out quite often with this exhibition, of course. The first is, how can you be sure to mix those two colors, those two pictures? The answer is very simple. When I no longer see any difference between those two pictures, is that the confusion is perfect. I can't see any difference between those two. The next one, it was those color blindness affect you during all those years, those past years. And to be honest, I don't have any bad memories for the last 20 years. It belongs to a few fashion mistakes, as you can see, but it's nothing too dramatic. It's only funny memory about the years. And the most asked question was about those famous glasses. Those famous glasses that can correct color blindness, but small color blindness. So they've been asking me, did you try it? Do you want to put it on? Why do you put it on? And to be honest, I think it can be interesting with people with very low color blindness, like red and green differences. But personally, I saw a vision of the world that are very different from a lot of people, and I don't want to put those glasses on and doubt about all those good memories with my family and everything, and doubt about all those years, because I love those years with my colors. So I won't put it. And after all, I believe that the most important thing is not who normally see the world or who have the best vision of it, but to let everyone find the magic in their own world. Thank you very much.